Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 modding video. Today we're checking out the top 5 armor mods to come out in the last month, because lately we've been seeing a resurgence of armor mods popping up on the Nexus scene, and typically we don't have that. There are now lots of new lore-friendly armors to add into your load order, some of them surrounding different themes like different factions in the game, while some of them being completely standalone. They're all integrated very differently, and some of them even have some extra goodies inside, like a couple of new weapons. So even in an armor exclusive video, you are going to get a couple weapons here because some of these authors decided to make them some nice little combo packs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first mod, which is going to be the Enclave Recon armor by Aries. This mod is going to make use of assets from the next-gen update to add some brand new Enclave Recon armor into the game. A highly customizable set of over armor that will be able to be equipped with the new under armor and have tons of different options that you can apply over at the armor workbench. These options are going to go beyond just different attributes for the armor, but also totally different aesthetics, including different hoods that you can put on the armor, as well as a lot of different wraps to make sort of a cool looking remnant look. But there's also a ton of different helmet variations and different attachments that change, again, not only the way the armor looks, but the way that it functions as well. This is intended to be a pretty high level armor. It's going to have less damage resistance than the marine armor from Far Harbor, but it is probably going to have the highest armor resistance than anything in the vanilla game. Non-DLC, that is. Now, because it is pretty powerful, there is only one version of this armor that you can find, at least the standard armor, and that is going to be on a spoiler marked location. There is a dead Enclave remnant. If you'd like to know where that is, I think that you need to head over to the mod page and check out the spoiler area, as I think is a pretty cool thing to not have spoiled, as it is something that is a nice surprise and is very rewarding when you do actually find it. If you beeline for it, you're going to be pretty overpowered pretty early in the game. That being said, there is also a unique version of the armor, even though it's technically already unique, that is going to have a different aesthetic, and that one is also spoiler marked, but that one can be found buried in the glowing sea, since it is a very, very high level armor set. Offering a nice Enclave theme for armors, which is something we do not see a lot of in Fallout 4, and coming with tons of customization options, this makes for a really cool complete package, and it fits the lore-friendly vanilla aesthetic, as it does have a lot of vanilla assets, at least sort of. It's coming from the next-gen Enclave armor pieces that have been completely reworked and redesigned, so it definitely fits the vanilla aesthetic while still being something completely new. What's really cool about this mod too is it not only works with next gen, but if you have upgraded and then backdated your mods back to the old gen and you already grabbed the Creation Club content, you will be able to use this mod. That being said, if you never updated in the first place, I do not believe this one is going to work for you, sadly. But it's pretty easy to update your game and then backport, and then it'll be working perfectly. Now, the next armor we're checking out is Tumbajamba's Railroad Heavy Armor. Tumbajamba finally took a crack at railroad armor, and it came with a pretty interesting aesthetic. Typically, you expect the railroad to be sneaky and quiet, but this is some heavy-duty armor that is pretty obviously for the railroad heavies when they actually have to engage with opponents in actual combat. And this isn't to be completely unseen in the vanilla game. We actually do see this in the main questline for the railroad. Whenever they do engage with the Institute, they have railroad heavies with some pretty heavy armor. So this is going to be just an alternative set for them, so they're not all wearing the exact same thing. And I have to say that's pretty welcome. One thing I say about the railroad very often is that they do not have enough armor variation on the modding scene, and now we actually have something new for them that looks pretty dang cool. Tumbajamba always does really good stuff, and so having something new from them for the railroad is pretty nice. This is going to include a nice coat and pants, but it's going to be very heavily armored with different pieces of scrap metal, as well as pouches and grenades and magazines, so you are ready to go for any battle. Unlike the last mod, there isn't a ton of customization for this guy once you've actually installed it. It's going to come as is. And there's not really a lot when it comes to implementation either, as this is a Tumbajamba mod. It is actually added directly into your inventory as soon as you launch the game with it installed. So once you download this, it's already in your inventory, ready to go. But that being said, I have been seeing some patches coming out lately for Tumbajamba's mods, and those have been adding level list integration to his armors. So I would love to see this one get the exact same treatment. I would love to see this on the railroad level list, so you'll actually see railroad agents wearing this armor. If he makes some more stuff to go along with it, I think that would make for a nice little update to the railroad, as they just don't have a lot going for them in the base game. That being said, this armor does add a lot. Once it gets integrated into the level list, I think this will be an excellent addition. But if not, then it'll at least be a pretty cool armor that you can wear yourself. If you're doing a railroad playthrough, but you still want some nice armor, I'd say this is a pretty good one to use, as it's going to keep you pretty well protected, at least a lot more than the regular armors do in the vanilla game. Now, the next one is pretty interesting because we get not only a new armor, but a new weapon as well. And that's because this is going to be Tumbajamba's Heavy Shotgun and Gunner Armor mod by Tumbajamba. This is going to add a brand new heavy gunner outfit, which looks absolutely incredible into the game. And it's also going to give you a nice new weapon as well. Pretty cool to see Tumba doing a nice little combo pack here, so you get a lot of bang for your buck when you install this mod. A brand new gunner armor based on the Far Harbor Marine armor, but given a completely new green paint job with shotgun shells on the chest piece, a really cool new helmet, tons of pouches and tons of armor plating. This thing looks really, really awesome, while still maintaining a lore-friendly aesthetic. Additionally, there's a brand new heavy weapon added in this mod, which is the heavy shotgun. It's going to use shotgun shells, but it's going to be held like a minigun, which is just insane. It does surprisingly use vanilla animations. It uses the flamer animations, and it doesn't look too bad. And this adds a brand new, really cool way to utilize shotgun shells that you don't really see anywhere else. There is the heavy select shotgun out there. I forget if that adds its own ammo type or not, but this is something a little bit smaller and more compact while still being a heavy weapon. Now, unlike the last Tumbajamba mod that was just featured, this one is integrated into the game a whole lot better, as it's not going to be just spawned into your inventory. There's actually a few ways to get the different gear added in this mod. So, starting off with the new weapon, the heavy shotgun, you can actually purchase that over from Proctor Tegan on the Pridwin, or you can actually get a chance to have it drop from Gunners and Brotherhood of Steel members after level 20. So this one actually is added into the leveled list. As for the armor, you actually have to find that on a brand new gunner boss who has been added into the world. If you head over to the South Boston military checkpoint where there are some gunners already, there's a new NPC wearing the brand new armor, and not only that, but they also have a unique variant of the heavy shotgun known as the Green Machine, which is going to not fire shotgun shells, but instead small rockets. So it's even more powerful than the heavy shotgun. It's going to be an underslung missile launcher, which is just crazy, but really cool, and a perfect thing to pair with this really heavy armor set. Altogether, an awesome new package that adds some spice to the game, not only in the form of the new weapon and armors, but also a new enemy to fight that adds a cool little mini-boss that is very rewarding when you do defeat them. Altogether, I say I really like the direction that Tumba's mods are going, especially the integration on this one. If they continue to do so, I'm going to be very pleased in the future with all of Tumba's new releases. Now, taking a step back from the really heavy armors, we have the Vault Tourist outfit from Aries. This is going to be a brand new, really customizable vault suit. So rather than a big heavy set of armor, this is more of a role-playing outfit for if you're going to be playing the Vault Dweller and you want to have a customizable set of armor, this is going to be a great mod for you. There's tons of options, including different shoulder pads, changing out the sleeves. You can even rip off the top of the vault suit and have a tank top. You have a new helmet, a new mask. There's all kinds of different items that you can mix and match and also customize over at the armor workbench. This typically wouldn't be my kind of mod, but I know that there's a lot of people out there who like stuff like this, so I wanted to represent that on this list, as it is something very cool and a lot of effort went into it. I saw the development process over on my Discord as Aries was making this thing, and it's really cool and a lot of love went into it. It was lightly inspired by the Fallout show with some awesome new custom stuff as well. Like I said, you can customize this thing a whole lot over at the Armor's Workbench, but to get it, the main armor set at least, so that you can customize it, you'll need to make it over at the Chemistry Station. Additionally, Trader Riley will also have one of these as a unique version of the outfit with their own unique hat. If you want to get that, you're going to have to make some decisions as to how you go about that, as again, it is unique and only available on that NPC. And just in case you're unaware, Trader Riley is the unique trader over at Vault 81. So a very fitting NPC for a brand new vault suit. Like I said, this mod is less about the armor stats and a lot more about having a really cool customizing set for your character to look exactly how you want. So if you're into vault suits and you're looking for a more unique one that has a bit more going on than the vanilla one, this is definitely a really cool option. And finally, that leaves one more mod to talk about, and it's another armor and weapon pack by Tumbajamba. This is going to be the Tumbajamba's Pryolator and Heavy Flamer armor. This is going to add a brand new flamethrower weapon known as the Pryolator, which is essentially a cryolator, but with fire, and then a heavy flamer armor to go with it, which is essentially like a flame trooper. They've got all kinds of fuel tanks on them, and a big sort of backpack with fuel tanks on it. It looks really cool. Some sort of flame trooper that you may see in other video games. Now we have a gunner equivalent, which is really cool. I think that this set pairs nicely with the other heavy gunner armor that we had previously as a sort of addition to the gunners to add even more cool stuff. In my opinion, these armors actually fit very well with the aesthetic of the default armor pack, so I think you could use both in tandem and it would make for a pretty cool experience. Now, what has me really excited is that this mod has the same integration as the last one. So not only are you going to get these brand new armors and weapons, but they're actually going to be integrated into the world. So the weapon, much like the last one, can be purchased. This time it can be purchased from multiple shops. And then it also has a chance to spawn from Gunners and Brotherhood of Steel members after level 15 as a more reasonable flamer option, which is pretty cool. And I believe this has even more upgrades at the weapons workbench than the flamer does. Additionally, though, there is a unique variant of this guy called Friendly Fire. which is going to have the enraging legendary effect causing enemies to frenzy, and it drops from yet another unique gunner boss. This boss will not only drop the unique weapon, but it's also going to have that flamer combat armor. So there's now a flame trooper that you can go find over at Skylines Flight 1981, where you'll be able to find this gunner boss along with their new armor and weapons. What's really funny is that's actually a location for random encounters, so you're probably going to find this guy absolutely mowing down random enemies with his flamethrower, which is super cool. And again, much like the last one, if you manage to take him down, you get a brand new set of armor and a brand new weapon. A really, really cool way to introduce a unique set of armor, I have to say. Big fan of this. Tumbajamba is doing some awesome stuff, as is Aries. Because as you've noticed today, all 5 mods in my top 5 mods for this month's armors are made by the same 2 people. These guys are absolutely holding up the armor scene on Nexus. They are making tons of cool stuff, most of it using NIF-bashed assets, but they look fantastic. So I have to say, huge props to them. This was kind of a special episode to really showcase how much work they're doing, and they are busting out these mods all the time. I think Tumbajamba is releasing armor mods faster than I am weapons, which is just crazy. So if you want to check out any of these mods, they will all be linked down in the description below as always. I am unsure if any of these have Xbox ports at the moment, but at the very least you can grab them using the links down in the description to get them over on Nexus. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed all of the mods today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider dropping a like, and if you'd like to support my work directly, whether it's the videos I do here on YouTube or the mods I'm always busting out over on the Nexus, you can support me over on Patreon. That'll be linked down in the description, but it is completely optional. Don't feel pressured or feel like you need to do it. It is purely optional for those people who do like to donate. It is just a resource there if you're into that kind of thing. With that, though, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!